I know you're crying because you regret sending Cinco home. I know Cash wanted to tell this boy, because of you, I sent Cinco home. Now look. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. I know some of you are so mean in my comments. Some of you are like, yeah, Andre needs Olivia because Olivia has a personality to take care of kids. How do you guys know Olivia wants to take care of kids? Shannon will stump over Josh. Her personality is way too strong. That's just my opinion. Well, Josh is telling the islanders, he's like, I asked her to be my girlfriend. If you guys see Will and Kira's face, they just look so uninterested, so disgusted. Charlie is then talking to Elena and he's like, yes, I came into this villa to take chances. No, you came into this villa for cash, okay? You came into this villa for cash. You didn't come into this villa to take any nonsense chances. That's not what we put you here for, sir.
I love your job, love your job. No do, Maya, no girl, no.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Mayoko, and today I am back with another video on Love Island USA, Season 3, Episode 21. Let's get straight into the video. The episode starts off with Cash and Trina talking in the dressing room, and they're talking about Alana and Charlie. Before they could even get to like the meat of the story, the main issue, Olivia just barges in and she's like, I just really think Corey likes Bailey. I'm like, bro, Olivia, can these girls talk about what they were talking about before you come and barge in? Like, Olivia is really having a hard time accepting the fact that Corey wants what's her name? Bailey. So Cash is giving Olivia advice and she's like, don't call a man out on his BS. You never do that. I'm looking at Cash like, even the narrator said, Cash, you should probably take your own advice. Like, what is Cash out here? But then again, they do say people who give the best advice don't know how to take it. You know, it's like kind of, you know, the situation of do as I say, don't do as I do. That's what Cash is. Cash is literally, because Cash will give you the best advice, but she will never take her own advice. Then Shannon and Josh go on a date and, you know, they went ziplining. I don't really care for that couple in as much as I feel like they have a very high chance of winning Love Island USA Season 3. Very, very high chance. They're the only real couple, well, except for Kira and Will, but a lot of people don't like them, so I don't know how that's gonna really work. But Josh and Shannon, I feel like right now are at the top for winning. Then what's his name? Y'all see I don't really care for them, but anyway, Josh asks Shannon to be his girlfriend. Honestly, I'm just looking at the TV like, this girl is going to scare this boy beyond scare straight in this relationship. Shannon, her personality is just too overpowering for Josh. Josh is too, I know they say opposite attracts. Josh is really calm, but like, you know, Josh has to have a little bit of oomph. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Josh is too calm for Shannon. Shannon will stump over Josh. Her personality is way too strong. That's just my opinion. So they go back home and they're telling the islanders how, well, Josh is telling the islanders, he's like, I asked her to be my girlfriend. If you guys see Will and Kira's face, they just look so uninterested, so disgusted. They're just looking at them like they were trying to smile, but it was the fakest smile ever. It was the fakest smile ever. I'm sure Will is thinking in his head, damn, I should have been the first one to ask Kira. I should have been the first one to ask Kira to be my girlfriend. I know that's what Will was thinking, because the way he was looking, he was like, damn, why didn't I think of that first? I don't know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, because the way he didn't look happy, but then again, I know Shannon and Will don't get along, so maybe that's why the faces were kind of off, but they just looked so uninterested. They couldn't care less about the fact that Shannon and Josh were now an official couple. Then Corey goes and talks to Josh. I'm guessing since I don't know why they all feel like Josh has the best relationship advice. He doesn't. But Corey's talking to Josh. Well, Corey's talking to Josh and he's like, I don't know what to do. I like Bailey and I like Olivia. And Josh is like, listen, fill them both out, see what you're doing, you know, talk to both of them, see how you feel and make your own decision. Anyway, basic advice. I don't think Corey needed that advice from Josh. I feel like that was common sense. I don't think Josh really brought anything extra to the conversation. It's kind of like, duh, he has to fill both of them out to see who he wants. That's like basic information. I don't know. What else? Duh, like what else could Josh have really told Corey that we didn't already know? And Corey is telling Josh how he doesn't want to make anyone sad. I think the thing with Corey is Corey really wants Bailey, but he's trying to, like he said, he doesn't want to hurt Olivia's feelings, so he's trying to make it seem like it's hard for him to, well, I guess it is kind of hard for him to switch to Bailey completely. But he tells Bailey he really likes her and that he's her type and that she's his type 100%. But then, so why do you want Olivia? Because you don't want to hurt her feelings? I don't know. Corey's a sweetheart, so I love Corey. So I kind of understand what he's doing, but he needs to get it together because we don't have time for this. Olivia, now, there are two new boys in the villa. First of all, their entrance was so dramatic. I don't even know why they did all of that. Like, they had to hide in the bed, and then towards the end of the episode, the girls start jumping on the bed, and then the two guys pop out with their heads like, we're under the covers. Like, what kind of nonsense entrance is that? Anyway, there are two new boys in the villa, Casey and Andre. Casey is from Atlanta. Andre is from Brazil. Apparently, he is married and he has a child. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. I know some of you are so mean in my comments. Some of you are like, yeah, Andre needs Olivia because Olivia has the personality to take care of kids. How do you guys know Olivia wants to take care of kids? You guys need to you guys need to behave. Like, what is wrong with you? And then apparently Bailey and Corey were speaking for about 3 hours. They were together for like 3 hours. And Olivia was like, I mean, you say you really want me, but you're talking to her for very long. Corey was like, did I? I'm like, damn, Corey, you don't even know time is passing by talking to someone. That's how you know you have a genuine connection with them. If you could talk to somebody for about 3 hours and you don't even know time has gone by, I'm sorry, but like, that's the relationship right there, okay? So Corey needs to just stick with Bailey, because that's clearly who he likes. I don't know why he's going back and forth with Olivia and Bailey. He just needs to pick one because Olivia's feelings are about to be hurt. But hopefully Olivia finds love with one of the new boys. During the episode, Jeremy's talking to Corey and he's like, yeah, I really like Bailey also, but obviously I'm not going to drag her away from you because, you know, she needs to make the decision on her own. And it literally reminded me of the situation with Florida, Jeremy, and Corey. Just that this time Corey is winning instead of Jeremy, and we love to see it because Jeremy needed to have been gone a long time ago. I don't know why he's still in the house, but Charlie is then talking to Atlanta and he's like, yes, I came into this villa to take chances. No, you came into this villa for cash, okay? You came into this villa for cash. You didn't come into this villa to take any nonsense chances. That's not what we put you here for, sir. Because honestly, you guys, the next minute Charlie couples up with another person, they're both going home. So if Charlie knows what's good for him, he better just literally behave himself in that villa and stick with cash. Because I'm tired. You guys already know this whole thing is pissing me off. What's his name? Charlie is telling Atlanta how the thing about him is when one thing pisses him off, he doesn't know how to like get over it. What did he say exactly? He was like, oh yeah, he said when something turns him off, there's no going back. So why didn't you tell Cash this before Cinco left? That was weird to me. So you wanted Cash to pick you. Meanwhile, you already knew you were turned off by the whole situation. But then you also claimed in Casa Amor that you had no issues coming back into the villa, knowing that Cinco and Cash had a little thing because you're confident in yourself and you know your true self and you know how to handle stuff. But clearly you're handling things really badly, Charlie, because I don't know what you're doing. And then Charlie doesn't even tell Cash that he liked Atlanta or wanted to get to know her. Why would he do that? Like, I don't understand. And the whole every time I talk about Charlie, my face is never straight. Like, look at my wrinkles. Like, every time I talk about Charlie, my face is just confused. My poor face is confused. Charlie is confusing me. So then right after Atlanta and Charlie finished talking, Charlie goes and pulls Cash for a chat. And he's like, I don't think I want to continue with this anymore. I would have been like, who are you talking to? I would have literally looked at him like, who are you talking to? Cash, literally, she just got up and she was like, I'm not having this conversation. I knew it. And she walks away. And then when she walks away, she starts crying. Yo, Cash had a nervous breakdown this episode. Those were not, like, that was not a normal cry. It was like a nervous breakdown. I was looking at her like, do people know how to help people having nervous breakdowns? Because Cash looks like she's about to lose it. I'm looking at her like, baby girl, like, I hope y'all know how to take care of somebody that's about to have a nervous breakdown because this is not a normal cry. But Cash was saying how she just felt like she needed to cry because she basically felt like used, because that's kind of the same thing that happened with Cinco. And I'm thinking in my head, Cash, all this crying, I know you're crying because you regret sending Cinco home. I know Cash wanted to tell this boy, because of you, I sent Cinco home. Now look. And then Cash she said something about, she was like, I told the world he was a prince. I was like, baby girl, don't worry. Nobody was fooled. We all knew he wasn't no prince. So if that's really your concern, don't worry. We know he's not a prince. We been knew that. Like, trust me. No one thought Charlie was, well, I personally didn't think Charlie was a prince. So Yeah. Then the next day, Cash and Atlanta have a talk, and Atlanta's saying how, yeah, I felt kind of secluded because I thought that I was the issue. Cash is like, no, 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 no. I know I probably made it seem that way, but you're definitely not the issue. It's definitely Charlie, because he never told me he liked you. He never told me he wanted to pursue you or never told me he was interested in getting to know you. So then Atlanta was like, okay, that makes more sense, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they were just talking about how the blame isn't on Atlanta, it's on Charlie, because Charlie never communicated with Cash and opened up to her. I personally think poor Atlanta, like, she just came into the house, wants to find love, and then Charlie is out here misbehaving. I don't even know what I want to say. I just feel like Charlie, I know I have a lot of Charlie defenders in my comments. I mean, hey, listen, I don't think Charlie is a bad guy. Yes, I do. Actually, yes. Charlie is a bad guy. I was about to say I don't think he is. He definitely is a bad guy, because Charlie could have definitely communicated that he wanted to. I didn't even know that part. I didn't know he didn't tell Cash he wanted to get to know Atlanta. That's not nice. You don't do that. Especially when, I hate saying Cash brought him into the villa, but Cash really did bring you into the villa. If not for Cash, Charlie would have been home by now. He would have been back wherever he's from. Atlanta too, right? Isn't he from Atlanta? Yeah, he would have been back in Atlanta. I don't know if he's from Atlanta. Don't quote me on that. But that's where he would have been back home. Okay, period. He would have just been back home. Charlie and Cash are talking, and I don't know, they start smiling again. And in bed, Cash is rubbing on his face. Then during like a dance clip, like the B-roll, Cash is dancing all up on him. Huh? What is going on? I've never been so speechless in my life. Like, I don't know. I think Cash at this point is trying to make sure Charlie doesn't go anywhere. I think that's what she's doing. And I wouldn't say she's desperate, but she kind of is. But is she to blame? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys, because I don't know if you guys did watch the episode, she has this whole argument with Charlie. Charlie's saying how he doesn't want things to keep going. He doesn't want to move on with Cash. Then in bed, y'all are touching each other. You're having conversation. Y'all are laughing like nothing just happened. And then y'all are dancing all up. So what is going on? I don't know. What do you guys think is going on? What would you guys call all of that? I call it nonsense, okay? I call it nonsense. But that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, thank you so much for coming back. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.